In our inaugural of Startup and Beyond, we zero in on empowering micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and creatives for global market readiness. Manila FAME is a critical venue for Filipino MSMEs and artisans to connect with global buyers, showcase their creativity, and expand their market reach. Manila FAME stands for Manila Fashion, Arts, and Merchandise Exposition, one of the signature trade shows organized by CITEM, or the Center for International Trade Expositions and Missions, the export promotion arm of the Department of Trade and Industry. Reinforcing its legacy and essential trade event in Asia since 1983, Manila FAME opens its doors on October 16 to 18. Registration is open for trade visitors, non-trade buyers, government officials, media, and invited guests. With us now for more is Pinky Parra, the Supervising Trade Industry Development Specialist at CITEM. Good to see you, Pinky.
Thank you for having
Welcome
me,
to the
Kathy.
program.
Thank
So
you.
how are the registrations coming along? We're just about 2 weeks away.
Yes, actually, registration is great. We are seeing an 83% increase comparing it from last year.
83% increase from the locals or the foreign or both?
From the local, we are seeing about around 70% increase, and then for the local, for the international, we are seeing about 110% increase.
Oh, that's
more
a
or
huge
less, yes.
increase, a triple-digit increase for foreign. And what accounts for that? Do you think it's the same catalysts or maybe even drivers? And what could be moving them at a time? As you know, we've really been saddled by the tariffs
Right.
since the start of this year.
Yeah, I think Manila FAME creates a buffer against global trade volatility. The U.S. has been, and I think will always remain as an important trade partner of the Philippines, specifically for these sectors. But we are also making sure that we diversify our markets. We are expanding our presence in different markets through the different trade shows also that we participate in. For example, earlier this year, we were in major trade shows in Europe, such as Maison and Objet in Paris, Ambiente in Frankfurt, Germany. And, you know, in terms of registration, since you mentioned registration, the highest number of foreign registration is still coming from the U.S.
From the U.S.?
Yes.
So they want to do business with the Philippines?
Yes, I think...
In spite of the fact that anything we export now has a 19% tariff when it arrives in U.S. shores.
Yes, I think right now there's still a lot of unknown variables. I believe the government continues its talks with the U.S. and hopefully we come with a more agreeable terms for our exporters. But for now, the impact of these increased tariffs, I think it's safe to say that our exporters and the foreign buyers or the buyers coming from the U.S. have not yet felt these impacts. And also, a lot of markets are trying to also look for other sources of the products. I think they're also looking at more design-led, more value-added products, which we offer. So I mean, in terms of pricing, we will never be the cheapest comparing to other neighboring countries.
And that should be a problem that CITEM, I would presume, would tackle. How is it then taking on that issue of pricing as a point where we can get competitive if indeed we address it first?
Right. We can get competitive. In pricing, yes, that's one, but also in terms of, like what I said, providing more value-added and design-forward goods. So in CITEM, we do a lot of different programs also to address this. So we do product development programs. We capacitate our exporters and would-be exporters in terms of, design trends, and also in terms of making further steps towards sustainability initiatives.
Yeah, I noticed that the theme of FAME this year has both traditional design and sustainability initiatives wrapped around it. I mean, is that what's called for to become the value add of choice?
Yes, yes. Of course, definitely right now we are still in the early days of tackling sustainability because it's a very complicated matter. We do not want our companies or our exporters to be labeled as greenwashing. So I think since the previous year and until now, we are trying to educate them. We provide talks for them on what sustainability is. I think a lot of our companies actually practice sustainability without them knowing it, like through waste reduction or making use of recycled materials, upcycling. But we also want to take it a step further. So probably in the coming years or starting next year, we will take it a step further by giving them access to, say, certifications. So these are ways on how we can provide or to be provide advantage also to our
Perhaps
exporters.
access online. I mean, we haven't even talked about Manila FAME Plus.
Yes.
That little plus over there changes the
FAME
whole
Plus.
concept, because it's not the harder, the soft structure that comes along with digitalization, but really the mind shift, the cultural mind shift of every MSME in taking it to the global stage.
Right, right. So FAME Plus, it was actually launched during the pandemic. So before the pandemic, we were already developing FAME Plus, so it's our digital trade and community platform. And then the pandemic happened, and it was a good thing that we have FAME Plus. So for FAME Plus, the exporters are accessible, discoverable, all days of the year, 365 days. So more buyers who do not know Manila FAME, who do not know the Philippines as a potential source of quality goods, they discover us, they discover our exporters, our MSMEs through FAME Plus.
We have about a minute to go. Could you give us a success, an early champion of Manila FAME Plus?
Well, I think what I can think of right now is there are still a lot of legacy or second generation and third generation companies of exporters. So where it is, because we know that a lot of manufacturers have closed. We were the top, one of the top choices in the ASEAN in the early 90s, but because of a lot of things that happened in the global economy, that changed. So there are a lot of manufacturers that closed. But seeing these third generation companies that are still alive and with their daughters and granddaughters taking over the company, it's really it's a delight to see how they keep the tradition of the companies and while innovating also with different and new products.
All right. Well, all the best on the October 16 launch. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Parra of CITEM.